Alright then, you're away.
Okay, so I'm Steve Newell. I'm process leader for test and finish area at Rolls-Royce motor cars. Just to give you a bit of an overview of that, that is post-assembly, so testing, validation, reworking to the quality standard and finishing the cars before final distribution. Within that, obviously we hold a lot of parts, take a lot of parts from different areas, whether it be from other supporting functions like leather shop, wood shop, paint shop, or spare parts from suppliers, etc. So a lot of parts, a lot of material handling. So basically today we're looking at how can we reduce that material handling waste. I've sort of laid it out in a DMAIC, rough DMAIC principles, it's quite easy to follow. So within the area we've got probably 20 plus rework bays with 46 rework associates, 2 per vehicle. That's just for one shift. So currently the associates collect and return. So they collect their new parts from an outside logistics area. That's mainly outside due to the footprint, where we've had to grow in volume to accommodate the increase of model mix, rework minutes from off the line. We've had to increase the amount of rework bays, and therefore we've had to push the logistics outside, rightly or wrongly. So problem statement is the associates themselves are taking parts off the car, bringing new parts back. It's about a 50-metre walk. So our aim of it is to increase productivity through the reduction of manufacture time and obviously reduce unit cost. Improve the ergonomics. Obviously it's a lot of walking to and fro, lots of different size parts, different value of parts. Obviously reduce health and safety risks that can come with it if you're walking with parts, if you're pulling things along, manual handling on a pump truck or with dollies, you might not always be paying attention. There's a lot of traffic through the area with cars because the layout itself is quite dated now. We started off with 5-10 units and now we're up to 26 units a day. We want to try and improve the inventory accuracy, so by getting those parts back to the logistics centre in a timely manner, they can be scrapped off in the ERP system, SAP, to prevent any stock discrepancies, and just really to improve, either reduce or better utilisation of labour. So we did a time study, and we also did a workplace analysis using spaghetti diagrams. Obviously stopwatch, basically to see the time that the associates were spending away from the vehicle. We did that across 6 bays, basically the 6 bays that are around the fixed position of the wheel alignment and rolling road rig, because that is the most movement. We got to really move around that, walking away from their bays. So one trip to the logistics area, average of about 5 minutes. They were going to and from, and obviously had to fill out their scrap tickets as well. Average number of trips per associate, we were saying we noticed 6 throughout the whole shift. Obviously they work on numerous vehicles in a shift. And the number of rework associates is 46, so just to calculate that, 276 trips for 5 minutes across those 46 associates, equated to 23 hours worth of non-value added material handling. That equates to 2.8 vehicles a shift and approximately £840,000 worth of retail. Obviously a hefty sum. In terms of the labour cost per shift, 23 hours at approximately £20 an hour, over an average of 230 working days was £105,800 a year. So it's quite a hefty amount of money that's being used for non-value added purposes. And ergonomically, you're looking at 50 metres per trip, 276 trips between all the associates, that's 13,800 metres per shift channel. So you can imagine that fatigue, that carrying parts to and from that logistics area, that's something we really want to cut down, especially as it's all non-value added. And also we're looking at health and safety side, an average of 5 accidents or near misses from people being avoided by cars or carrying parts, hurting themselves on parts, maybe back strains per month, which equates to 60 accidents or near misses a year. On the back of that data, so obviously we measured it and we wanted to analyse it, we did an Ishikawa with the view to how can we improve the material handling. So the proposal was to introduce AGVs that was set on a set route that basically went around all of the rework bays where the reworker could pick up the new parts. This was obviously, would deliver them the parts knowing that the bay, what car was in the bay, using the RFID system that we've got in place, and take those new parts, which could cut that down to about 30 seconds of taking it, putting it on, getting a new part. Just looking at the Ishikawa, so looking at man, method, machine, materials. From a man perspective, obviously manual handling, logistics are already overstretched anyway, so they couldn't put another person on it, and that still has that intrusive ergonomics of manual handling from a person rather than an automated system, and just the high frequency of parts that go to and from. The general method that we do at the minute is out of date and it's very confusing to new associates. From a machine principle, we're using very manual pump trucks, dollies, and automated technology has never been considered in the past. Obviously with the material, we've got various shapes and sizes, new models, and from the environment we've got those fixed positions that we have to navigate around. So with a hypothetical AVG, looking at the benefits of it, so the reduction of motion waste of associates walking in parts, increased inventory, that ensures parts are delivered to and from at the right time, reduced waiting time for part supply, prevention of injuries, reduction of traffic within the areas, lots of people that are moving in and around the cars that are also being moved around the system, reduced manufacture time. And there's just a quick bar graph here as well, which shows, you can see considerable difference between the before and after the hypothetical improvement. So you've got a reduction down to 1,380 metres of walking against 13,800. Labour cost for that non-value added has shot down to just 10,000, and the non-value added minutes itself has gone down 138 minutes from 1,380. So that equates to, again, in labour, if we look at that, that's a just over £95,000 worth of cost saving for the labour, and 1,242 minutes worth of time saved. And that's it.
Well, again, the benefits sound very, very clear. There's a few questions over it. So in this area, you've got the vehicles are live on the floor, driven about or pushed about.
Yeah.
So, what are the real health and safety issues of those and people from other areas, coming into your area by mistake? Or what are the health and safety concerns, ergonomic concerns of that?
I think where you have, by nature, I think associates will naturally take the shortest route, and if you're asking them to carry parts, and they're always going to take the shortest route to get to one distance. With the cars that travel through a set process, from one station to the next, they're driven, so through, you can't really see it on here, but through these validation lines round, if you also get a high footfall of people carrying parts, trying to take that shortest route, you're always going to have that inherent risk of not seeing the car, avoiding, just carrying the parts in general. You can cause stresses, strains, cuts on your hand. We've seen that many a time. Just having that automated route, controlled route around would be very quite beneficial.
Yeah, sounds pretty reasonable. The other thing is just you mentioned, how did you measure the productivity gain, or did you actually do measurements on productivity specifically in your assessment of this situation?
In what terms?
In terms of maybe labour per cost, hours per pounds per hour or something, or?
Yeah, so we looked on here, so we looked at, against the time that we could see was lost non-value added, which was 23 hours a shift. Then we put a cost to that, so £20 per hour, approximately per associate, and then we 230 days a year, that average that we work, give us a cost of that non-value added labour.
That's all the questions for me. That was very good, very clear, and a really objective conclusion to how you should go ahead. Thank you very much.